not.
2, 1.
Alrighty, and here we are, and I'm still going to have to silence my phone. Shush you. Yeah, hi, I'm here again, and now you get to see the wonderful, lovely faces of this amazing cast that I have here. Before I ask all of you to say hello, though, let us very quickly run through the sponsors for this season, because of course, we need to be able to make all of this happen. And to make all of this happen, we have some fantastic people who have offered to sponsor us. Now, obviously, I've already mentioned, but I'm just going to say again, Evil Hat Productions, they are the ones who published Tachyon Squadron, who also published Fate Core, which is the system that this runs on. Fate is downright one of my absolute favorite systems. It is so wonderfully narrative and fluid, so highly recommend that one. We have Helmgast, who sponsor us for Cult Divinity Lost. If you like horror, which, if you're watching Wave the Tail, you're probably here partly because of an interest in horror. Yeah, Cult's got your fix there. For the Fallout, Trouble on the Turnpike, which, by the way, is a fantastic show. If you like that weird sense of humor that Fallout has, go check it out. We have Modifius to thank for that, who are the publishers. There's Tin Star Games for Relics, a Game of Angels, which I believe is on Friday. And we are also sponsored by Grinding Coffee, which is a Black LGBTQ-owned business providing that good go juice that all of us, well, many of us need. I'm aware there are some people who don't like coffee. That's good. Leaves more for me. And last but not least, Dice Dungeons. Now, with sponsors out of the way, I'm also going to do a quick shout out and say thank you to all of the lovely people who are contributors to the Patreon. The Patreon is how this cast gets paid. So if you want to make sure these people are rewarded for their efforts, go check out our Patreon. And yeah, like and subscribe. There we go. There's the plug. And without further ado, let's go around and have everybody give a quick introduction of themselves and their character. We will do this in reverse alphabetical order this time. So we start with Teal.
Yeah, hello. My name is Zain and I am playing Shirin Madani, aka Teal, a woman who grew up in the slums in the gang-infested city and went from the streets to the fleets and is now almost blowing everything up if it wasn't for Haley.
Yeah. And going from one firecracker to another one, Starfox.
Hi everyone, I'm Void. I play Starfox. Starfox, or Parker, is a flight baby. Like, her dad's a mechanic and her mom was flying in the military, and planes are cool. Barrel roll! Do a barrel roll! Also, Boomjockey's the best. Signing off. Starfox signing off. Bye.
So I heard planes, right?
Max!
I think you broke something. Predator!
How should I follow this up? Hi everyone, I'm Petra. I'm back to play Haley Rutherford, call sign Predator. She got kicked out of the High Republic military a few years ago, and then heeded the call of the Dracona system newly formed military to start over, and has taken on the job of herding cats, pretty much. Well, that's it. Also, I'm
Yeah.
very excited to be back.
I am also so excited to be back. And finally, I was gonna say bringing up the rear, but Boomjockey's usually out front. Boomjockey.
Hey everybody, I'm Kevin. I'm playing Phil Banks, call sign Boomjockey, former stunt pilot turned military pilot. After decided that if he was going to risk his life doing crazy stunts, it might as well be worth, something more than just cash. He is, I would say, one of the older people in the group, and has recently seen something that is definitely on his bucket list: pilot the mech. We'll see if we can scratch that one off.
We'll see indeed. We will. And I myself, running this game and herding these cats, I'm Diane. I am Balrog 1911, everywhere. I am the GM. I am many voices. Or just the one voice everywhere. So, to get you up to speed on where we are in the plot, these 4 pilots, this flight was out on patrol when a ship appeared from a sector of space where nothing should appear from, where everything that's gone in has never returned. Upon rescuing those pilots from the clutches of the Dominion, they were informed that the Tuwanye system, as it is known, is in fact populated and developed, and was offering a sizable fleet of fighters to the High Republic because they believed there would be stepping from the annals of history into an act of war, which there isn't. There is a ceasefire at the moment. However, an entire fleet of ships being gifted might change that. So now these 4 have been sent into the system, have traversed the incredibly dangerous magnetic fields that shield the place from being entered by those who don't know the path. Took a frigate prisoner along the way, and that frigate didn't make it. It got a little shredded by said magnetic fields. The people survived in their escape pods, and these 4 have now landed on the planet of Tuwanye, and 2 of the ships that followed them in are now standing next to them in a very much humanoid shape, having changed from their fighter configuration. And you all have been introduced to the inhabitants, specifically also the commanding officer of their airborne forces, Kirill Tavistok. You were asked to hand over your weapons, as you are still unknown quantities here, and you did, mostly. Shirin?
I handed over a weapon, yes?
Yes, you did. And we're gonna pick this up with you 4 being led in a very much mirroring situation of what happened when the 2 pilots you encountered were brought in. You are being brought into a debriefing room. The guards who are accompanying you, they are military police. They are armed, but not threatening you, just, they're military police. They're going to be armed. But you can tell that everyone's looking at you with a sense of both wonder as well as apprehension. There's a certain amount of insecurity as to what might happen next. And that look that people have when something that to them has so far only been imaginary suddenly steps into reality, and they're waiting to see what effects are going to come out of this. The room you're being led into, as the door opens or is opened for you inwards, you see a table that has been arranged with just several jugs of water, a small selection of very basic foods, and several surprisingly comfortable chairs are spread around. As the guard closes the door again, you are left by yourselves in silence for the time being. But you are also told that someone will be with you in just a few minutes.
Well, that was unexpected.
Really? I mean, we did the same thing to them.
No.
We didn't give them food,
Not-
did we?
Not this.
No, not.
I'm not
no.
talking about. I'm not talking. Hello, this is not.
Oh
the
yeah,
obvious thing.
the mechs. Yeah, we already had our freak out outside. You're having a delayed reaction.
That might explain it, actually.
Oh, and to the
It's
shock
on my
of nobody,
bucket list.
like, Parker beeline for the snacks and is, like, munching very loudly while listening to everybody.
Oh, Haley is
on
following
my-
right after.
Yeah, it's on my bucket list. I need to
Sure, it's
ask
just
if I can
waiting.
get on one of those.
On your bucket
You
list,
know,
have we
just for a flight
GM,
around?
GM out of game question? We have heard or seen of, or like were there speculations of anything remotely possible to what we just saw?
Sort of the notion of shall we say, of robots as a military resource has long been floated, and for example, for surface combat, things like mechanized or power suits and such exist.
Okay.
The notion of combining a fighter and a power suit or a mechanized suit, as it were, is one of those things that so far has it was occasionally floated as like, wouldn't this be cool? But it has never been realistically attempted, and there's never really been any need for it.
It's mostly fiction.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mostly just in that realm of like people might have speculated that the military could be developing some sort of secret thing at some point, but realistically, it's never been even attempted.
It was mostly a we wish it was true kind of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Haley would step up next to Parker and grab something from the food.
Hey, do you think
and look at her and say, so how long until we have to go look for you and find you somewhere inside that thing?
Oh, like, the moment they let me out, immediately. Can I go see it now? I mean, I want to go
I'm
see
with
it
her.
now. So,
I'm with
yeah.
her.
Just as
Any of you
as a
Feel
general
poisoned, by the
as
way.
a general. Haley just
No, that's fine.
rolls her eyes
I
and
pour myself a
pushes
glass of water and just drink it in front of Shirin. Like,
Shirin just
pushes
Loads
waits
of
a few
what
minutes,
looks
checks
to be like
everyone, then slowly starts to
a
snack into
muffin.
Uh,
Just as a general reminder, we're on foreign ground. We're treated as unknown variables. So, I mean, we've done the same to them. So, don't talk about things that you shouldn't talk about. Then again, I guess you're not privy to that many things. But
Wait, what?
I'm wondering if these robots things are the fleet they were talking about, because this were
I hope so. Do you think we're gonna get to pilot one?
this
whoa.
this
You
would
can't just
change the
step-
whole debate a lot.
Yes. I mean, before we saw that, the whole thing with the access codes, just sending it off, that sounded not too unrealistic to me. But now, this is not technology we can just throw away.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean,
sure.
we'll have to see what their plan is first. Because now I'm thinking they're not as helpless as they made it out to be. But
They say they had a fleet. I never counted them as being helpless. I'm all
but they
for
were able to be stationed in the middle of the asteroid belt.
That's kind of that's
But it's also two different things if the wrong people get their hands on just a fleet, or the wrong people get their hands on completely new technology like
Agreed.
this.
Okay.
But yes,
I want to get a turn on one of these things, even if it's just a fly around the block.
Mm-hmm.
But if this means
I have
war,
nothing against that.
I have no qualms on begging them to blow all this shit up.
I don't see why we can't just have them for the Dracona system and then not have it for either side.
We don't get to make that decision.
If they make a decision,
Well, I feel like they should get to make the decision because it's their fleet. So what if they just settle the Dracona system and then they can stay there and it's neutral land and they can be like a third sovereign sector.
We first have to find out what
fly.
these...
And then
what
we
these
can
things
fly
are
for them
capable of.
instead of the Republic, whatever.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
not.
want to have a selection of these for yourself, don't you?
Huh?
I mean that for sure, but Shirin, I agree with you. We have to find out. I had the exact same thought. We don't even know yet if this is what their whole fleet looks like, or if we've just been shown 2 test models.
It's at this point that the
I do think I feel stomach cramps. It's like,
Oh no.
That we've been on rations on our ships for God knows how long. Why do you think I'm not
Haley
sitting?
just wanted to see Shirin's reaction.
Immediately finger to the throat, not even hesitating.
The door at this point
Yeah,
opens, and the person you spoke to before, Colonel Kirill Tavistok, steps in with Viera in tow, and the door seals behind them. There's a bit of a glance between the two of them. They look at each other, and then Viera steps forward, takes a seat, and the colonel walks forward, stands sort of as centrally as he can, depending on how you're positioned, but just kind of trying to make sure that all of you are in front of him.
Yeah, Haley would, when they step in, maybe not fully stand at attention, but sort of, okay, sir, tension on deck, sort of focused on him.
Yeah. Arms crossed in front, goes, I'm surprised you reached us so quickly.
Well, we had a good guide.
Yes, but I was expecting...
Random fact.
I was expecting there to be longer deliberations.
Oh yeah, that's probably because
political-
we're an advanced force. We're not representing any political side at this moment. Just, we heard that your system needed some help evacuating, so We're just here for the evacuation, all of those, like, other decisions. That's not us.
It's not
Sir,
so much
have you been
evacuation.
Have you been
Just-
informed about this current situation?
Flight Officer Vieira here has been so kind as to enlighten me that there is a different situation out there than perhaps we were
Oh, yeah.
expecting.
And we're not at war.
Yeah.
That's also a thing.
Yes, that's
Bit less war.
That's pretty much. It is a surprise. In all our histories, everyone who has ever managed to come to our planet has told stories of warfare throughout the galaxy, throughout the sector, really.
Well,
Yeah.
the
Which is
truce
why
has
we
only been
advanced-
in effect for about a year, so.
This is why we advanced our defensive capabilities so rapidly.
Cool stuff, by the way. Can we get a go? I'm a mechanic. You should. I just.
Mom, look.
Let us
So
Stand
just
down.
to follow up with a question, these are defensive units and not also offensive units? The main purpose is defending, or are they also capable of
They are
invading?
tools. They are tools with a variety of usefulness to them. They are defensive
Well, a
because
gun
we
is a
use
tool
them to
too,
defend.
it's not an answer.
Exactly. It can be a defense or it can be an attack. However, our goal is to simply maintain the peace in our system and perhaps to repay the debt that we owe to our ancestors of many generations past.
Only
Sir-
thing I gotta say on that, and excuse me for perhaps speaking out of turn, but as we told Vera here, if you bring your toys out and, you know, send them whichever side you wish to send them, that truce is gonna evaporate.
This is a consideration that I am wrestling with a little bit.
But I mean, y'all are used to like running things together as a cohesive unit. So I mean, you could just keep doing that. It's in a different place, right? And then nobody has to
Are
go
you
to war.
Are you suggesting a resettlement?
I mean, yeah, you don't want to stay in here, right?
But we do. Well,
Oh,
many of us
you
do.
do?
Many of us would like to stay here. It is a very nice planet. It is a very comfortable
I guess
system
that
to
I
be in. and-
misunderstood.
Yeah, then I'm
No,
confused.
Well,
no, we didn't
some of us would
misunderstood. We were
pref-
told that your interest was in leaving, or a fleet wanted to relocate out of here.
Some of our people do indeed wish for that. And many of us, and this was our agreement, this is what, of course, our leaders also decided, that let us say that recent developments have left us with better means of defense for our own system. As such, the existing fleet will not be necessary here. And we were considering it as a gift, and also perhaps an escort for those of us who do wish to rejoin the galaxy at large.
Sir, if I may ask, does your whole fleet consist of the type of model we just saw outside?
And that is our most recent development. Our fleet is largely composed of a style of fighter not unlike what you bring, just different. I believe you saw one in action with
Yes.
looks over at Vieira, gives a look of
We caught a glimpse.
Flight Officer Vera, which type did you pilot? Vera just like suddenly gets that look of, you weren't supposed to know? And kind of very sheepishly looks away and goes, Colonel, it was a prototype. I thought it best to ensure the greatest possible defense for my fellow pilot in this case, so I took a prototype. We're going to have words later. You will not
Outside,
enjoy
I
it.
gotta tell you,
Doesn't
not
sound
much
that
left of that
familiar.
prototype. There's not much left of it. Sadly.
But it held up well until
Vera
then.
just turns red. Just that shade of gives you, Boomjockey, a look of...
Yeah, it's kind of where Boomjockey went. We caught a glimpse, because we just saw it a little bit before.
I think Haley would butt in, sort of trying to get the focus off of Vieira. Just so, what has been your plan up until now to get the fleet out and the people who want to leave?
The plan is very simply that we are going to request pilots. It's the main thing that we do not have enough pilots to come to actually fly our entire fleet efficiently. I believe you were told the number of ships that we have?
Yes, it was about 144.
Precisely 144. We have pilots for about half of that. But only some of our pilots actually wish to leave, so we would need a large number of those to be crewed by yours. You already have ships here. All of our plans, however, are just going to be put off a little bit while we deal with this new information about Dominion and interference.
Yes,
And
about that.
frankly,
Forgive me for interrupting. We don't have a whole lot of time. We have about a day and a half left before the Dominion will likely send reinforcement to the place where and she looks at via where you were attacked, or to the or even to where we entered, because that's
the
where
entrance to the magnetic fields. Then
yes,
To put it simply, the Dominion knows about you now. They likely are going to come knocking. Yes, because they know you have that fleet.
yes, I have also been informed.
So, aside from the fact that you're going to get visitors, the only way I see, and this is my opinion, the only thing I see this playing out is you want people to leave this place and resettle. They can do it. It's fine. We can help them get there. That's kind of what we're here for. But you got to think about what you're going to do with that fleet. Is that fleet, for the sake of the stability of whatever is out there, that fleet can't come with you. Least of all your prototypes, because we don't have that technology. So that's a whole different baggage Rex.
You
do
don't
have to.
This? Wait, are you talking about the? Are you talking about the magnetic resistance or the?
No,
variable.
The mechs.
And here we were sure that we were lagging behind the rest of the galaxy with it. It seems like an obvious concept.
Doesn't it, though?
Curious.
So to be
okay, just to be direct, the recent development that we have is less the variable shape, but more the fact that they are not affected as such by the magnetic fields. We now have the capability to defend the entire system, and perhaps even colonize the rest of it.
That's good.
Well, then you should have even less interest in having those go outside, potentially equipping our dear friends there with means to come back efficiently. Because out there is peace, but this peace is a barrel full of gunpowder, and we're talking about bringing some sparks over.
Frankly, if you want a gift to give over, just sheer spatial data on this system. And, revealing the big mystery of where people have gone to for the past few hundred years, I think that'll be enough. That'll keep scientists.
So you speak right when you say that we
for a
are
while.
pilots.
Yes,
what we are talking about are suggestions.
I want to know, you are pilots, which means you are not here for political points, you are not here to
no, purely
I
to
would
pilot
think
your
that you're
mechs.
I was thinking more that you are not here to impress me, so to speak. But also as pilots, you are aware, clearly, of the situation. I don't want to waste the potential that we have. You speak of the Dominion wishing to get their hands on this. They know now that it is here, and they will be trying to acquire what we have. Whether
They know
knowledge,
about the fleet, they necessarily not know about the technology yet.
This is true. But sooner or later they are going to find a way to come through, and that is unacceptable.
Well,
So
I
they
mean,
must be
you
prevented.
guys y'all just developed the tech. Oh, I remembered Parker's voice. Okay, you guys you just got the tech that lets you do it safely. So I think you should just. I mean, they don't have the technology to do that. They won't be able to come in, and then they're gonna get stranded. So you're gonna have to rescue them. They're not gonna be able to come in anyway. We really needed somebody to show us how to get here safely. So I don't think you have that much of a problem to worry about them, really, right?
Also, if I'm not mistaken, I think Vera mentioned that the current, path through all the magnetic stuff and asteroid fields and whatever is a temporary thing, and the window is going to close at some point.
That
and
is
only
true.
you know when it opens again.
That is true, but here is the other problem. The fields are stabilizing. And at this point,
How fast?
Vera
How
actually
quickly?
raises both eyebrows and gives that look of, huh? Part of the reason we actually decided to make contact is because these fields are stabilizing.
So
And
permanent transit.
Precisely.
Oh,
In
okay.
5 months' time, that corridor is not going to close. It is going to shift, and it will be different, but it will remain.
So permanent passage.
Yeah, to be honest, I really think that you guys can just guard the passage and then just, be your own sovereign, group, like you already are. So I don't see why you can't do that.
Because it leaves us a ripe target for any side that is interested, and we would rather be on one or the other without being caught in the middle of a trap that is ready to
I mean,
crush us.
I hate to well bring this up, but it is relevant information. Vieras likely has informed you that yes, there is a truce, but where we met them was what we call Draconis system, is neutral ground. It's a place in the middle. It's literally no man's land. And
Yeah, and you could be like that.
we're the neutral force.
You are neutral, but you are in combat with the Dominion.
We're coming with whoever gets in there, and it becomes hostile.
It's politics, sir.
Of course it's politics.
It's never black and white.
We just
So this
saw
is-
Dominion attack a transporter. That's what we prevented.
Yep.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened.
Hmm. That provides interesting alternatives. I'm going to have Yes, I'm going to have conversations with many people. Consider yourselves, for the time being, as long as you have an escort, free to move around the base. Within certain limits, you are free to areas that are not restricted.
Is your garage restricted? Your hangar?
Our hangar is considered restricted area, yes.
Would you perhaps have some kind of quarters where we could rest a little bit, fresh up?
Quarters have been assigned to you. They are nothing special, but you are pilots. I assume you are used to a bunk and a locker.
Yes, sir. One more question. I left some of my personal belongings in the cockpit. I'm happy to have some of your personal look through it, but I'd like to get my bag back.
Your ships have been transferred to a hangar. Viera will show you the way. You may retrieve whatever you need. It is, as mentioned, restricted area, but with proper authorization and a good reason, you will be allowed in there.
Actually, one more question. With the passage being open, do you know if there's any way of contacting someone, basically our superiors, or is the interference just too strong even at this point?
Our plan is to get relays set up once it is fully stabilized. As of this moment, those relays are not in place. However, one of our prototype fighters could attempt to make the run and send a message. Is it vital?
Well, I think, with all due respect, sir, our superiors would be relieved to hear that we are still alive and are still working towards completion of the mission.
On another
I'll see
note,
what I can do.
If you can somehow establish contact, even shaky, you may be able to interact with our superiors directly, who may be able to provide you more direct information and help you on your decision making.
If the astronomical data is correct, then even a simple message would require more than a day just to reach your superiors. It would be 2 days before you got a response. And
Well,
that is in the
just
best case scenario. But we can attempt this. In the meantime,
one-way message sounds good.
In the meantime, I'm going to go and have those various conversations. Please do not cause any trouble. Respect the rules that we have laid down here. and accept my apologies in advance for the fact that you will be treated with respect, but also caution.
Of course, sir.
I would be surprised if that wasn't the case.
Your weapons, by the way, have been stored in a secure room and will be returned to you as necessary, or if we deem it appropriate to do so. Carry on. And he turns on the spot, walks out. Vera looks back, waits for the door to close, looks at all of you, and then goes, "The passage is stabilizing?"
Surprise.
Supposedly. Yay?
That's not what I was told.
What? Are you used to being told everything that needs to be told?
I would think it was important to the operation.
I
Is
get the
what I'm
feeling
saying.
it's a need-to-know basis, and you didn't need to know.
Well, I like to think that I needed to know.
Other things that you probably don't know. I have the feeling we have little bit of a tip of an iceberg here.
That's a situation in back with us as well. That's welcome to the military and politics.
I hate politics.
What I'm wondering is how long do we actually have before Dominion? Let's say before goblins come crawling in.
Just to check, Goblin, that's
That's
the
their
ones that
fighters.
attacked us?
Yeah, that's their fighters. That's their designation. It's not a
Not a very
slur. It's
friendly-
just their designation.
Not a friendly designation, but, they're not friendly at all. They blow up real good, though.
What they do?
This is their best property. I don't think can make the passage as of now.
I don't think so either. They just would have to make sure to get the Dominion crew out of the pods and I should have told him. But do you think that they have to strip the Dominion crew of everything that might be able to relay any information or
I'm pretty sure
record
they're-
anything?
I'm pretty
Honestly,
sure they're going to be
If
taking those
If
precautions.
you look at that frigate took a whole lot of punishment and made it almost all the way through. Bring through an actual Dominion, like just heavy ship, well fortified, shielded, whatever. There's a good chance it can make it through the passage. Perhaps not intact.
The
But it
frigate was,
can make it
though,
through.
following someone who knew the way.
Right. And that
Every other ship will
pilot?
play ping pong with death.
Void, you're muted.
Like Teal was saying, if they know the passage, they can make it out, but, that doesn't mean they will, because they definitely don't. Our systems did not read anything in there.
Just,
I want to
I
say,
would want
don't. Let's not be surprised if suddenly, in a day or two we hear, hey, the Dominion's here.
You're making a valid point, and I mean, that is what Cosima told us when we left, that we have about 2 days before Dominion comes knocking on the gate, probably.
And consider also everyone who is here, everyone who lives here, is descended from someone who somehow made it through. If they have better ships, if they have stronger ships, if they have enough ships, someone is going to get through.
Vera, the pilots you have here, what kind of training did they go through? Do they fly as well as you?
Well, My ego says no, but that's my ego. No, I'm a pilot. I'm a pretty good example of what a pilot here is capable of.
Good.
Out of game.
But we
they're
only
screwed.
have.
Like out of game, they're screwed.
Why? She didn't roll that badly.
2 for 2. She needed space rescue.
Well, the second one wasn't really. That was up to the die.
Here's a thought I have.
Anyway.
The one thing we can probably count on is the welcoming party at the exit.
For sure.
Yeah.
But we do have
You know-
some Dominion people here. And we also have some parts of the frigate floating around. What if we use some of the hull parts, if we can find any, to make a fake Dominion ship and take one of
Did
the
you see what
Dominion
happened to
people?
the hull? It was wrung out like a wet cloth. I'm not sure if
Oh,
anything
it
of that
needs
would
a
be
little bit of
salvageable.
Dominion design. Make the ship look Dominion. Have one of these people fly.
I mean, I like the
through
idea, but I'm
first.
not sure how fast that could be done.
I mean, we can always try to falsify, the IFF signal, like identify friend or foe, and make it seem like a Dominion ship. We can spray paint Dominion in big letters on the ship if you want to, but the IFF should be enough. I don't think it'll fool them for too long.
If you have any
No.
sort of technical data on the design and build of a Dominion ship, we can perhaps get our engineers here to try and.
You can-
Starfox?
I think my logs have enough data on exploding goblins to give you a rough estimate.
That could be something. That could in fact be something. Well, it sounds like we should get to your ships.
Yes, please.
I'm just trying to find a way to let them know from one of their own that there is nothing here. If we can bribe one of the survivors just with enough incentive, maybe keep 1 or 2 dozen hostages, that they tell them, well, we barely survived, there's nothing here. Then wait it out a
Could
bit
work.
and fly out.
That's gotta be one hell of an incentive.
Well, if you do, we don't kill all of your friends we have back here.
Plus,
I know, I heard
Phil,
people
you
with
like that
feelings.
pilot.
The frigate pilot? Yeah. Great pilot. You should. Hey, you guys don't have enough pilots, right? You don't have enough pilots, so you should really teach us how to pilot your, ships.
You really want to. Well, you're not hiding it in the least.
Neither of us
Vera,
are. We
I'm just
both
gonna
want to
say it
turn on
now.
those things.
You will not be able to keep the 2 of them away from those. So just do what I've warned you. Okay, I've said it now. I can't be in all places at once.
I'll make it easy for you. I'll make it easy for you. I know we're just restricted guests, but surely you have a simulator for the things. That way nothing gets damaged and we can play a bit around.
No. They
Perhaps.
need us. They need us to pilot. Okay, we're great pilots. You saw what great
One
pilots
step-
we were.
Okay, one
Each
step
of
at a
us,
time, one
each
step
of
at a
us
time.
saved your life once. So I mean, I'm just saying.
One step at a
Settle
time.
down. Let's get what we came for from your ships first, and I assume you've been walking and talking. So at this point, Vera will, you've come up to a hangar door. Vera kind of looks at all of you, covers the keypad, types in a code. Light goes green,
And I
and the
think
door swings open.
As we
Yeah,
sort
I'm
of walk there, and sort of Parker and Phil going nuts over over the mechs, Haley would have leaned over to Shirin and just say, maybe we get a chance to talk to the Dominion folks ourselves, if they let us. See if we can help a little bit with the persuasion.
I'm always up for some persuasion.
Persuasion.
And yes, it would be your type of persuasion if need be.
Yeah, I got that.
Alright. The hangar you go into is pretty standard issue. There's actually still a small crew of techs who are still putting the final touches on, making sure that your ships are secured, safe. One of them is actually, let's pick one at random. Starfox, your ship, they're actually checking the ammo count at the moment. They're getting a pretty thorough look at what you've brought in, and not being shy about it in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm gonna jog over.
Yeah, as you do, they just...
I gotta protect my baby!
They glance over at you and continue their work. And you watch someone wheels over a cart and they actually begin... They take out some of their own ammunition and compare it to yours to see how it matches up.
Oh, cool, I'm gonna jump in on the compare.
Yeah, you can see that because your fighters, the Blackfish, is essentially just a newer iteration of an old existing design that theirs are also based on, because a couple of Blackfishes once got lost in here. The ammo isn't the exact same type, but in terms of fitting the weaponry, it could be made to work. It would need just like a very slight bit of retooling, but at least you won't run out of ammo. You still have enough for to go a couple more rounds, but if you were to get involved in enough scraps, then at the very least these people can provide you with some ammunition.
Nice.
A couple of them are also poking and prodding just the various other components of your ships. Boomjockey.
I go up to my ship. If I see someone poking in the engine, we're having words.
There is someone poking at the engine. There are two people, in fact, who are standing there on a slightly raised platform, poking at the engine and kind of looking at it with both puzzled and excited looks. Look over and see you coming, and just kind of go, hey, this one yours?
Yeah, that's a custom job. That's my baby.
Really... What kind of power do you get out of this one?
I go into the cockpit, just turn on consoles and just pull out like a tablet with an extract of the logs. Just pass it over.
They start going over this. Wow.
And as they do that, I just pull what I have in my cockpit, which is a small frame that has a photo of the X and the two kids. Just pop it in a pocket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The techs who are looking over your engine, as you leave, you see them get out a toolkit.
I give him a death stare. Like, don't even think about it.
They're already they've got their hands on the housing and a wrench, and are just they shrug and then actually start taking off the housing. I'm going to offer.
I can't stop them, and if I try to stop them, we're all in deep shit. So I can't do anything about this. So I'm gonna, unless there is a compel coming.
I was gonna say I'm tempted to give you a compel. I'm just gonna have to check your aspects to see if there's one that I can really use for this. Give me just a moment because I just realized I wasn't in the Roll20, so da, 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 da. Nah, I'm not. This won't be a compel because there's not really an aspect on you that I can use for that. However, I will point out that they're being careful, but they're definitely letting their curiosity guide them rather than their polite nature. Let's put it that way.
I look at it as if you get a scratch on that, or my engine sputters in any way, we're gonna have some words here.
It's just professional courtesy or curiosity. We know what we're doing. We know what we're doing.
I damn well hope so. And I just turn around and leave, and just leave it with. I have the last word.
Can I get a roll from you?
Yeah, sure.
Specifically, I would like an empathy roll. This isn't. You're not provoking them, so it's not a provoke. But just make it an empathy roll. You will need a +2 on this one to see if you can convince them to.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen, but sure.
Well,
let's see what happens. That didn't happen.
Well, you can make it happen at a slight cost. It basically, if you want them to actually keep their hands off, what do you think might be a cost?
I think yeah. Boomjockey cares enough about his engine and the fact that there may still be stuff coming after them. That ship needs to be in working order. Don't take my fucking engine off.
So if you succeed at a slight cost, let's.
The cost is they don't like you now.
I was gonna say, let's add an aspect to this scene.
Okay.
Or not. Well, this would add an aspect specifically for you, Boomjockey, not just to the scene, but just to the general setting of while you're here. Of let's call it. Oh God, what would you call it? Basically, the fact that they are. Yeah, there you go. Uncooperative. And you
I'm
like
cool with that.
They take their hands off, replace the housing of the engine, lower their platform, and they give you just like the dirtiest glare as they wander off, and you can already see them like
I match it.
Yeah, you see them walking away, and they're already muttering, and like you see them walk past another tech, point at you, and there's just a whispered conversation there. You get the sense that you've not ingratiated yourself to these people.
You might want to start checking your foods and drinks from now on.
Yeah. I just want to point out that Parker's
they can do with that.
The other, like the total other direction, where instead of being like, be careful with my ship, she's like, I want to show you this cool thing that I added to it. And it's like touring them through the stuff. And I would happily roll rapport to build a relationship with these people also.
I will let you do that.
She's just being a grease monkey with the other grease monkeys.
Go ahead and roll me a rapport.
Yeah.
Which I think was actually what
I can do.
Should have had Boomjockey roll in retrospect.
It would have been the same thing.
There you go then.
Still a 0.
Yeah. God, I didn't even get
Not
to
a
tell you
people
what you...
person.
Fair.
That's what I'm
Starfox
here for.
with a 4, that's more than what I was gonna set it as. So yeah, you pretty soon actually several more of like the pit crew start to gather and just
The ones that
you
bailed
see,
off Boomjockey's ship.
yeah, I reckon one of them maybe as well. And you see them just kind of like excitedly listening to what you say, but sometimes like at some point you can tell that your excitement is infectious to the point where half of them just end up ignoring you and excitedly talking amongst each other as they point to bits and bobs.
Nice.
And
It's a party.
you all start to hear several you start to hear things being said over just communicators, and well, that's something that's going to happen later. That's going to be your boon. Predator, you're going to get something from your ship?
Yeah, so once she gets to her ship, Haley would first briefly check in with the techies, just in case they haven't seen that yet, that parts of her computer systems are down. She would just let them know that she came a little bit too close to the magnetic fields, and yeah, parts of the
There's
system
a nod of
are down.
recognition and just like, yeah, no,
I
we
guess
can
you
deal with
gotta
that.
learn it the hard way. Thank you, I appreciate it.
You're not the first one.
Yeah. I'm
How are
just
you
gonna
feeling?
grab...
You're okay?
I need a break in a bit, but right now, doing good. Thank you for asking, though.
No side effects, no nothing?
What kind of side effects? What do you mean?
I mean, I guess you must be lucky. Some people come back with unfortunate thing. Like people have come back with radiation burns, among other things. Sometimes just a bit
it's
of
space.
Yeah, we've had one pilot come back and just lost feeling in an arm for an entire month. Because
Does it have something to do with the magnetic field?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah. It fried the nerve endings for that one, and we had to reconstruct them.
You can reconstruct out of game question. Would that surprise me? Because I was about
not too much.
Reconstruct nerve endings.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise you too much. It's one of those things where like it's a medical procedure that's certainly possible, but it is painstaking, it is time consuming, and usually pretty expensive.
Yeah, I think as they're mentioning reconstructing nerve endings, Haley would probably, without even noticing, sort of reaching down towards her right knee. And I think on their way there, Shirin probably would have noticed that Haley has started to walk with the slightest limp, just a little bit. But she says to them, well, I mean, I guess we were twice as lucky, and I feel okay. I mean, I'm getting the feeling that the gravity here is a little bit... It's doing its thing. I feel heavier. Let's put it like that.
Is it stronger than where you came from?
No, it's lighter. The pull is lighter. I can feel it in my bones. Anyway, I'm just gonna grab my bag. I don't know if somebody already checked it. I don't want to make anybody nervous.
We haven't really gone through any personal belongings. We're just here to make sure the ships are okay and see what we can learn from them.
All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, I'm sure eventually all your stuff will be gone through anyway, but that's not up to us. And as they're about to say something else, you'll see, the red lights start to flash. The hangar doors slide open and aside, and one of the machines stationed outside switches back into flight mode and slowly hovers in before setting down. Several of the
Haley would
techs
stop sort of halfway up the ladder to her cockpit. It's like,
and
it looks like
specifically,
Madani.
well, yeah, just we have to compare.
No. It's just that we don't get to see stuff like that very often. By very often, I mean not at all. So just, I just need to gawk at it for a moment. I'm just gonna grab my bag now.
Just remember, you're not allowed to go near it, and you're probably gonna have to leave the
I'm
hangar
good.
very
Parker's
soon.
leash, by the way.
Come again? What did you say?
Who packed Parker's leash? There are mechs everywhere.
Well, actually, no. To be completely honest, out of game, I was about to make that joke to Viera earlier.
Nice.
Because you have the
Like-
kitty leashes
like a
with the
harness.
harness.
Oh boy.
I feel a
Yeah.
compel coming for Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, you do
yeah, but,
see very clearly three of the MPs standing in front of it, hands on their weapons, as a very clear sign of what you are not supposed to do.
Yeah, so Haley would just say to the techie, they know that they are to behave, and all I can do is trust for them to do exactly that. And then she walks the last few steps up and reaches into the cockpit to grab I know I said duffel bag earlier, but it's it's relatively small bag. Small enough so she can stash it next to her seat, and just takes it out, comes back down.
Teal, are you grabbing anything? Are you up to anything?
No, Teal would have grabbed everything of importance, aka weapons, when they first left. Just keeping an eye on every ship, and stays close to Haley. And when the other person she spoke to is out of earshot, he's just like, "Yeah, you okay?"
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, I'm tired, and I hope to get a rest after we find out whether or not we can talk with our Dominion friends. But do you feel the gravity too here? Like maybe it's just my knee. I don't know. Just been a bit of a hell ride coming here.
Do I feel the gravity too?
I mean, Diane mentioned it at the end of, right? Like I'm not just imagining that. You mentioned that we feel the increased
Yeah,
pull.
it is a slightly stronger pull of gravity than you're used to.
Yeah. No, I feel it. Good workout.
Yeah, I guess. And she again reaches down to sort of rub her knee. Let's see if we can. Where's Viera? Do we still see Viera around?
Oh, she's kind of standing right in the middle of this quartet of fighters that you've got. She's accessible for all of you. She does actually, once the prototype fighter has been secured and all, she actually just kind of motions to all of you, looks over at the door, and goes, "Unfortunately, you're not allowed to be in here. any longer right now. So make sure you have what you need, and we're going to have to leave now.
No problem for me. Say, is there any chance that we could sit in on the interrogation with the Dominion crew?
I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I'm sure you will have messages waiting for you in your quarters. Let's get you there. Let's get you set up, and then we can figure out what you're going to do in the next few days. Possibly just the next 24 hours. I don't know. I don't know what the plan is from here. I didn't even know that the corridors were going to stabilize. I'm still pretty pissed that no one told me about this.
I get that.
But we'll figure it out and see what comes next. Like looks over and there's a signal that, well, so, clearly a signal for VR, something that they have of their own, and VR just motions for all of you to follow and head back out.
Haley's just looking out for us, specifically for Parker.
And while they walk,
I know.
It's like,
Parker will follow directions, just reluctantly and with much pouting.
Mm-hmm. There's a stone on the path. You can kick it if you want.
I will.
I just give one just casual glance back at the team of text near my ship and just go away.
Yeah, you can see the text returning to your ship, but staying well away from the engine at this point.
Yeah, good for them.
Viera leads you through the base to quarters that have been prepared for you. It is a relatively small room. It's got, 2 bunks on either side, set of lockers. There's a small a door leading to a small shower and toilet area. You have a small little table with a seating arrangement. She just points into the room and says, "This has been prepared for you. No one's going to interrupt you in here without... Well, hopefully no one's going to interrupt you. I don't know exactly what my commanding officers have planned. Apparently there's a lot I don't know right now, and
there's
we'll see
only
about
one
that.
type of interruption I tolerate. If you know what I mean.
I'm not
I think even
sure
Haley
if...
would give her this. I know.
There's a brief look of I'm not sure, followed by oh. Although you could, if you want, you could make a rapport roll.
Okay.
I'm just saying, this is not out of the realm of possibility.
Sure. Oh, I'm actually not completely bad at rapport.
No, indeed not.
Nice.
Yeah. So the succession of expression goes, what the? Oh. And then there's like a bit of a shrug followed by. Anyway, I'm also going to have some rest. I recommend you all do the same. If you need to access the hangar, ask me to come with you, or find a nearby any one of our guards. They can, of course, let you in. I will say, especially we're coming up on closing down, so in about 1 hour it's going to be closed down and nobody's going to be in there. And you will probably not be allowed in there once everything has been locked, so if you think of anything, think of it in the next hour.
I just got one question.
Hmm?
Can you point me to the mess hall? Just so I know where to go to grab a bite.
Points down the hallway and then goes that direction, and then take a right. There will be a sign. If you follow the red stripes on the floor, that'll get you there.
Perfect.
The red
Related
is food.
question.
Yes.
Can we use the kitchen?
I think our cooks would take issue with you if you did this. There is
Yeah,
food
like, can I get
prepared.
a change of clothes?
Well, here's the thing. You said I shouldn't make trouble. And the chances decrease drastically if you give me a kitchen and some ingredients and let me cook.
Actually, I
Something's
second
true.
that.
You can
Yeah.
speak to the cooks if you wish, if they are agreeable to your request. Then
I
you
will
will have
play
free
my
reign. But
famous charms, no problem.
it is that domain is entirely separate from everything else.
Sure.
As for a change of
Famous.
clothes, there should be some in your lockers.
You said
Thanks.
something about messages waiting for us.
Yes, you have a terminal, and any communications to you will be directed to you there.
Right, and looking at it, does that look like something we would know how to operate?
Yeah. Think of it like if it's similar enough in the sense like if you've only ever used a Windows computer and you're suddenly given a Mac, it's that sort of like, okay, you know what this is and you know roughly how it works, but it might take a little while to familiarize yourself with it.
Okay.
You know, same function, just different aesthetic. And Vera then bows, closes the door, and leaves you to yourselves. And this is also where I will suggest that we take a 10-minute break. Make sure we stretch, get some tea. So everyone in chat, thank you so much for hanging out. I don't know what these people are going to get up to, but I suspect trouble. And in the meantime...
Just want to pilot the mechs.
I just want to make a lasagna.
Some of us.
By all means necessary.
By your command. But anyway,
I mean, resistance is my decompress, so...
yeah, which you
What?
might have a...
And I'm a little
yeah,
bit
anyway,
fucked because I haven't seen any cats around. Like, I feel like I have to talk to Viera. Where are the cats?
You had a ship cat, there's no way there's no cats. Where are the cats?
That's
We'll
the
figure
real
that out.
commanding officers. The real
There you
commanding
go.
officers. There's a fleet of cats with hats.
Yes.
Cats with tricorns. There you go. That's the fan art for this game.
Excellent.
So,
Cats with tricorns.
yeah. When we get back, we'll figure out where the cats are. But in the meantime, we're going to take a 10-minute break. So everyone in chat, make sure you are hydrated, make sure you are good, stretch, and we will see you very soon. we've had our break. Hope you've had your break. I have consumed a bite of food. Oh, wait. There we are. Now we're back. Yeah. I have consumed a bite of food, which is excellent because I needed that. And we're going to jump back into it. Last we left off, these lovely plaids have now got their quarters. They've been notified that the base is closing down in about an hour, at which point your hangar will be locked and emptied. But first, Teal wants to cook.
Yes.
And I support that.
I can. I want this to be like the squad ritual that after every mission, Teal just cooks dinner for everyone. Because
Yep.
that's my depressurization everyone knows to expect.
I love
A
that.
good lasagna after.
You know what? My healthy decompression is working out, so I feel like Parker usually works out while you cook, and then is like
Yeah.
starving for the food. Just like, oh my god, yes, great, fantastic.
Yeah. Just
Nice.
immediately in the kitchen.
It's convenient for me, yes, thank you.
I'm a little bit fucked in that regard. So Haley's gonna bring her back and then also keep a lookout if there's any cats around. On the way to the mess hall.
You don't see cats, but you do notice an abundance of cat hair.
Where there's cat hair. You know how that saying goes. But yeah, I think Haley would just because she actually has in her bag a second set of clothing. Just get changed, and then yeah, if Shirin wants to go to the mess hall,
I'm going to offer you a compel, actually,
what?
based on what based on the background that was established. Now, Haley has done some interesting work in the past. Some of it still remains classified. But the compel I'm offering you is that based on Haley's background in Black Ops, that bag of yours comes prepared with a few key essentials should you ever need to get nasty in a pinch. So, the compel
the
is that your
content-
bag contains both weaponry and
I was gonna say, what's the content
hacking
of the sorts that I
equipment?
no longer can whack Shirin over the head for what she did?
But the compel would be that this bag contains a weapon and also some equipment for slicing through tech, which you know you are not allowed to have here.
Oh fuck! I did not see that coming. And that is not a joke, because that would, God, go against everything I've established so far. Okay, fuck it. Yes, yes,
Okay,
I
so
can.
take
Yeah.
a fate point. You as you take your clothes, you
Oh.
realize. Sorry?
Sorry, speaking fate points. So last time I also got a fate point from a compel, and then shortly after I used a fate point. Is it assumed that the fate point I got from the compel last time was the one that was used up, or would
Yeah,
that have
that's-
carried over? Okay,
That would be the first to go.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you were saying.
Yeah, so, yeah, as you unpack your clothes, you remember this is your prep bag. And you suddenly realize, yeah, you're doing everything you can to make sure you don't break any rules, that you don't ruffle the feathers, that you don't, cause an incident here. But you forgot about the prep bag.
I guess old habits, huh? Yeah, so there's worse things I'm carrying around with me than a bottle of whiskey. Good. That's cool. So cool. We're going to the mess hall.
On my end, since my my healthy decompression is movie night with loved ones, meaning also, people I care about, the squad.
Yeah.
I am perusing whatever entertainment they have, because I figure these people must have their own movies. There are movie stars, theater. They're a full culture. They need to have entertainment.
They are a full culture. They do, in fact, have entertainment. You find a small library of both films as well as essentially telenovelas.
Oh, we're going full on telenovelas. Let's go.
Yeah.
Mech soap opera.
None of the titles mean anything to you. None of the actors' names mean anything to you. But you the summary. The summary is enough that you basically the sense of okay, so this is just it's run for 400 episodes thus far, roughly. It's
a short
introduced. One. Yeah, exactly. It's starting off on its run. But yeah, it's introduced and killed off more characters than they have actors to fill the roles, probably. So it's definitely one of those absolute. This is one of the first things we ever started producing, and we just haven't stopped.
I just when I get to the mess hall, I found the movie. I found what we're watching. This looks amazing.
Yeah, once they get to the mess hall, Haley would find a table and sit down and prop up her right leg onto the table and start to roll up the sleeve, the legs of a what's that called? Hosenbein. Can someone please translate?
Yeah, the leg of your trousers.
Thank you. It's like, what is that? What is that called? Begins to roll up the leg of her pants, and so this is the first time we would see that this high-tech brace she's wearing underneath that's specifically supporting her knee, but it's because it helps her generate force that her muscles can no longer provide to withstand all the G's you have to pull during a flight. And she just with a few pushes, some buttons, it just it doesn't fully take it off, but it gets sweaty and itchy underneath there, so she just loosens it a little bit, and then she keeps that back very close, but she does take out the bottle of whiskey, and on the way to the table probably would have found whatever is there, available glasses, cups, and offers a round to whoever is in.
We'll say before heading into the mess hall and after selecting the entertainment for the evening, Boomjockey will likely have changed clothes into something less stinky.
Yeah.
And
you've each been given a basic, t-shirt, pants.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm wearing that, and since it's a t-shirt, sitting down. Because Boomjockey, I would assume, most of the time, just wear something long sleeve, like a flight jacket or anything on top. So it might not be a common occurrence to see him wearing short sleeves. And now I can actually see that he does have ink on both arms. It just comes right up down to the edge of the sleeve, and it's a list of names. You can barely see a couple of names just past the sleeve, and on the other side it's call signs.
Will we know what the names mean, who they stand for?
I would say likely Predator knows, because it might have come up in conversation at some point. Since, I think Boomjockey, Teal, and Predator are like the oldest in the group. Together, and we have Star Puppy. But yeah, it's on one side is 7 names, on the other side 7 call signs. It's the call signs for those names. It's a group of 7 friends, also stunt pilots who died, in the business. Just good friends, basically. 2 friends, just gone.
Right. Now, Teal, we're gonna go talk to the cooks. The cooks are, they're basically cleaning down at the moment. They've, they've done the prep work for the next morning's breakfast, and at the moment they're just kind of cleaning down the kitchen. On being asked if you can cook, or on being asked if they will let you cook, they just kind of look at the freshly cleaned surfaces, look at all of that, point you towards one stove setup, and then drop, a set of gloves, some cloths, and some detergent next to it, and go,
oh, don't
make
worry, I'll
sure.
clean up after.
Mm-hmm.
I leave the kitchen cleaner than my cockpit. I know it doesn't say anything, but I do.
Never seen your cockpit. Just don't fuck it up.
Like you. No. I cook because I don't want to fuck things up. This calms me down. You can have a slice of lasagna.
What's lasagna?
Exactly. Don't you want to know?
Can we get an Iron Chef competition here?
Outside cuisine? I bring you culture from outside. I'll save you a square.
How long does it take to make? We have to be up early, but they kind of look at each other, and then just take a seat at a table some distance away from you, like enough that you have your privacy, but they just kind of sit there and observe.
Okay. Is there stuff for me to make lasagna?
They have the requisite ingredients. Like, they don't have pasta ready, but, all you need is eggs and flour, basically, so they've got that.
Okay.
It was, after all, the planet was founded by a colony ship, so civilization has the same roots as your own history, so, same deal.
Oh. Then I'll make do with what I have and make famous Teal lasagna.
Yeah. They don't have quite, all the spices you might need, so it's going to be a slightly blander lasagna, but
that's fine.
They do have spices, just not always ones you've heard of.
Yeah, I'm good at improvising.
I'm not going to ask you for a roll on this one. I mean, you know how to make a lasagna.
Okay. Will I be able to grab a bit of ice?
Yeah, they have a freezer.
Okay. Then I make the lasagna, I give them their share, and we'll take the rest to the table with Haley and whoever else is there. Put it on the table and hand her the ice. Say, put it here for you, old lady.
5 years. Just you wait. You'll get there. You'll get there too. And she takes the, just gives her a, yeah, like you didn't really say that, but in a loving kind of way, look, and takes the ice and just puts it on her knee. Thank you. All right, let's see what you. Let's see what
Not
we got
quite the
here.
same,
And she
but
starts-
good enough.
Still good. Different, but still
Yeah,
good.
not exactly what the taste I was expecting, but not bad.
Yeah, I think the magnetic forces have a little bit of spicy effect to the lasagna. So dig in.
They will call this the magnetic lasagna.
Yeah.
By the way, you shouldn't make jokes about that, as I found out. One of the techies told me that if you have a too close encounter with those magnetic fields, it might really fry up your nerves.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing
Oh,
I would
good.
have loved for Vieira to say before we did all this.
But would we have gone then? Yeah,
Probably. But,
probably.
you know, it's the
Of
kind of thing
course, I mean-
you would like to know all info.
Yeah, we would have gone.
Well, now we're here. Now we know nobody has any fried limbs, or not as far as we know.
Not that I know of.
I think we're, for the most part, okay.
Good.
For the
Then
most part.
let's do our best to keep it that way.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
one of the corners, by the way, you watch someone walk in carrying a relatively large box of some description. Opens one of the other doors, sets out a row of bowls on the floor, and just starts pouring dry food out, and immediately you hear the of several pairs of paws approaching. And shortly after, now that everyone else has eaten, you see about 10 cats rushing in to also eat their food.
Yes. Yes. Haley's on the ground. Once they come in.
I think we all
This is-
see the look on Haley's face.
This is heaven. It's like, get a little bit to drink, really good lasagna, and cats. Yeah, so she sits on the ground, the whiskey glass next to her, and just gets all the cats she can. But I think at some point, I don't know how long this lasts, she would maybe after they finished eating, and as promised, Shirin, I suppose, would start to clean up. Haley would sort of catch a moment where the other two are out of earshot and just go, I think we need to talk. And normally when Haley says that, I think we need to talk, you can hear in her voice it means you fucked up again and we need to talk. But this time you can actually hear a oh shit kind of undertone in her voice. Just later on. Just for a second.
I missed. Who did you say that to?
To you, to Shirin.
Ah, okay. Okay. Sure.
And that bag is not leaving her side, by the way.
As I would say, by the way, like, taking it back just a moment, in the middle of you actually eating with, a very, very trashy and overacted series playing from, I was gonna say from a laptop or something. Like, basically, I would have assumed like you brought a data pad with you to watch it. So, like, you've got it kind of like propped up against against a bowl or something. It's the equivalent of setting a laptop on the table and just sitting down to watch a trashy series. It is so bad and so enjoyable, and everyone there is clearly just hamming the shit out of it and having the time of their life doing it. And as this is happening, you notice the lighting just kind of changes to a somewhat more dimmed lighting, and the cooks that were there, having now dissected the lasagna and examined it and then eaten it, put their plates away and leave. And two MPs step into the room and just inform you that the base is now shut down for the night. So if you wish to go anywhere other than your quarters, you will have to request an escort, or else you will be detained.
So,
Back to the quarters, I guess.
okay. Shirin will also clean up the kitchen first.
Yeah, absolutely. You said you would, so I assumed you would. No, I will compel you not to clean up.
Shirin is a mess everywhere else, but in the kitchen, like, she takes it seriously. The kitchen's always clean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, is that...
And-
does that go to the extent where she wouldn't even want others to help? Is she that kind of obsessed about it? Because Hayley would try to help and make it look nice again.
Yeah, no, the whole cooking process from starting to cleaning up is the whole like depressurization.
All right.
Also the scrubbing.
Besides, Hayley, are you actually leaving the cat's side?
Yeah, no. Yeah, she would probably just hear from somewhere from the floor. Shirin, do you need help? No, she doesn't need our help, does she? No, she doesn't. and yeah, those are... Yeah, Hayley might have to kill people if anyone ever recorded stuff like that and showed it, because that would ruin her reputation.
Oh,
Why would we do
Good
that? We
thing-
never do that. We
good
never
thing
do
she
that.
doesn't know.
Yeah, we never do that. We would never.
Not at all. No, that would never happen.
We would never do that.
Just see
Mhm.
both of
Definitely
them
don't
like
have-
this big fuzzy microphones in their hands.
And Hayley looks up and
So there's definitely a group chat just called Hayley Meets Cats. Oh boy. But yeah. Of course, you're not rushed out of the mess hall, so you have time to finish your meal in peace and sit down and relax, clean up. But you do notice those MPs are now making the rounds.
Just a quick question. On the way to our cells, sorry, I mean quarters. Is there a spot, even a hallway, something that has windows to look outside?
Yeah,
Because I would say Boomjockey would likely want to stop for a moment and just look outside at this new world.
yeah, there's windows. And at this point, it is sunset.
Perfect.
So if you want to look outside, you basically can see. You see a landscape that is largely flat. It's just plains and very slight hills every now and then. In the distance, you can see lights, very bright lights of the city. You do notice, a couple of patrols outside and the usual nighttime activity, as you will, of just making sure the base is secure, making sure everything's in place. The sunset itself is a spectacular sight. The interplay of having a red and a blue star as binaries here makes for incredibly intense colors. and as you watch, it is more or less like watching an aurora stretch across the horizon.
Oh, I make sure to take some pictures of it to take home. I think just yeah, finish.
I was gonna say it never quite ends. Even like the sunset dips, but there's always a slight hint of light and a slight shifting pattern of colors in the sky.
So yeah, I think Boomjockey would just stand there for a while, and be a bit more of the contemplative part of Contemplative Daredevil. And just stand there for a little bit with his thoughts before eventually going back to his quarters if the MPs get a bit pushy.
Yep. Now, as you're leaving the mess hall, heading back to your quarters, Starfox, one of your decompressions is stunts or just doing ridiculous things.
Crazy things. Mm-hmm.
Now you know that there is a prototype fighter in the hangar with your ships. You also know where to get in, and you also know that supposedly there's nobody in the hangar right now. Here's the compel. The urge becomes irresistible.
I'm gonna take a couple steps away from Haley and towards Phil and just be like, hey. Phil.
I can't hear you.
You wanna break into the hangar? Let's break into the hangar. Nobody will know. I know you want to get a look at that as much as I do.
Yeah, but I don't want to get shot.
Okay, it's fine. We'll just go back to our rooms. And I'll play it cool as we go down the hall. Fine, I'll go back to my dorm, whatever place they put me in. I'm a cut Boomjockey out of the plan. He's not in. That's fine. I'll just do it by myself.
Right,
it'll
so
be
you're
easier for
taking
me to
that
sneak in
compel?
by myself anyway. Yeah, I'm going.
All right, take a fate point.
Items! I'm very not sneaky though, so.
Yeah, on this case, the question, what would Boomjockey do, is not go infiltrate the hangar.
Well,
my decompression is speed, so we may get to that at some other point.
That's fine. You don't have to come with. Parker just wanted to invite you first.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
Oh yeah, you're right. You know what? You're right. It was such a dumb idea. I shouldn't do it. Does it?
I kind of roll something just to be past the. Not gonna stop her, but just want to be able to tell that it's
would be
a whole lot of bullshit.
Empathy?
That would be an empathy roll, and that would be against
my rapport.
Gosh, yeah, I think it might. I would think it's reasonable to do opposed empathy.
I don't think he needs to roll because. I mean,
no need.
No,
I did make friends with those engineers. Jaded's right.
Yeah.
Right. See, the thing is, I'm not a very sneaky person, but Parker feels like she's good at convincing people to do things. So
Okay.
rather than like trying to like break my guard and sneak in, trying to decide if I should try to convince my guard and the engineers to like team up and help me get into the hangar. But the more people that know, the more trouble I'm gonna get into. So that's probably a bad idea.
Tell you what, you decide how you want to go ahead with this and then come back to me. In the meantime, we can cut the camera away from Boomjockey, thinking, alright, Starfox is probably not going to do anything really ridiculous right now. And we'll take the camera away from there and just back a little ways to where Haley and Shirin are finishing up, and well, there was something to be talked about there.
Oh, so are we still back in the kitchen? Or is it just hanging
Up to you.
behind the other two?
Yeah, you can just be tailing back a little bit.
Yeah, she would probably, similar to what Boomjockey did before, sort of looking for a window. She's just looking for a corridor where the two can just step into. So keeping an eye on where the MPs are. And the look on her face doesn't really match up with the tone of her voice. And she just pretends to look out of the window. Probably when the MP goes by, it's like, wow, that's quite nice, isn't it? She's, yep, this is beautiful. And then so MP has gone by. I've made a mistake.
Wait.
I've
What?
made a mistake that can really cause us some trouble. I packed the wrong bag. And she looks at it's just a small messenger bag or mid-sized. I don't know what. Diane, you packed my little bag. How much is in there? How small
I would
is
say
it
you've
really?
got. You would have a small concealable firearm, much like the one that Shirin has, in fact. And the necessary equipment to hack or slice most of the things. So, like, basically, if you need to open up a panel and fuck with some wires, or if you need to plug it into a data port, which you're not sure if you could actually do that here. You're not sure if your tech integrates, but there's probably ways to find that out.
Also, if there's pliers, my
and
hand is just
also-
going into very nasty directions. But let's not.
Yeah.
Just no.
And also a concealed blade.
Yeah. So she would, when Shirin says, what? I grabbed the wrong bag, and I only just saw it now when I took out the whiskey. Let's just say I've got a few things on me we're not supposed to have right now. And I think you should know, in case stuff happens.
Would Teal know about the contents of the wrong bag from previous missions, or do I not know about that bag?
I don't. Well, I mean, we've established that Shirin
If you want
knows,
to pay
but Haley doesn't know that Shirin knows.
I was gonna
But I
say,
don't think she
okay.
would have told her about the bag.
if you want to know about the contents of the bag, you can spend a fate point and tell me why you know about the contents of that bag.
I mean, after the night, she could have gone snooping around.
No, I don't really care. I just want to know if how she would react. Just
Yeah.
let's say that
It's up to you. If you want Teal to have known in advance, you can spend a fate point and make that happen. That's the point of them.
Yeah, No, it's fine. She will just say, yeah, we're not stupid, right? We all like save one of our guns, right?
And Haley stares ahead, just. But just, I think, turns a shade paler. Please, don't tell me you. Oh God, we're so fucked. What? Okay, let's just put it out there. Got a gun on me, a blade, and cutting tools. You.
Not as much.
Proud of you.
That's rare. That's rare. Haley. Nice.
Don't. Just don't. I was going to talk to you about that frigate, but I think we can forget about that now.
Yeah. No, I just have my small firearm. No chance I walk here around completely unarmed.
Which is just another round of breaking protocol, and we need to figure out our shit once we get back. 'Cause I'm done glossing over the little details in the reports that I'm sending to Cosima, but that's a kind of words for another time. Yeah. So okay.
If it makes you feel any better, I can take the bag.
No.
And then if shit
No,
goes down,
that's-
it's just me.
What? No. That's.
Oh,
No,
you have
you
more
know
to
I
lose
wouldn't
than
want
I. Everybody knows I'm the problem child. You still have a reputation.
No. If things go south, I'll.
I have a poker face. You don't. Look at your forehead. You're sweating.
Well, because normally these roles are reversed. I'm not used to this, okay?
Exactly. That's why we're all gonna be safer if you just give me the stuff.
And then I think she would just take another deep breath in and out and actually become more serious. Look down at the bag and just say, just didn't think I would have to pack that thing. Bring it with me once again. I don't even know why I still have it, frankly. Put it all the way back into my locker.
Well, sometimes it's difficult to let the past go. No matter how hard we try. But are you... If it makes you feel better, you could try to get rid of it?
Yeah, that would. I don't think so. GM, out of game question, I would assume that our guns are they're identifiable. Like it's probably not the exact same model what people have here, and then they're probably
Yeah.
But they probably
Like-
also incinerate their trash or something, right?
I mean, I'm fairly sure you can't flush the gun down.
Watch me try. The toilet was like this when I found it, I swear.
That toilet always had a 9mm inside.
Haley.
Oh boy.
Haley thinks about what Shirin suggested. She leans on the windowsill, and I think the panic completely drops, and she just faces back into her usual composed self. She says, "No. I'll bear the consequences, but maybe who knows what's going to happen." Also, what
you
was that about
please
the
roll-
past? Yeah.
Can you please make me a... I'm just gonna make this one a sneak roll, just to see how well you can, in fact, just...
No.
Yes, yes. Because there's no composure roll, but this is you trying to hide your current
Can I just
state
sort of
and-
empathy? I'm showing empathy with myself.
I have made the decision, and you need to make this at a... Based on the way you acted that out, I'm gonna put that at a +3.
Oh. So it was sneak, right?
Yes.
Oh god. Well, I mean, I just got a feint point. I will need that fate point.
Okay. What will you invoke?
I would like to invoke. Ooh, this could go both ways.
Well, that's...
I would
Best
like
aspects go
because
both ways.
No, yeah, no. I mean, there's what I actually meant to say is there's two aspects. I could work use the Black Ops background, but I think I'm calling on the relationship aspect with Shirin, which is mutual trust. And I think just having told her just having said it out loud would allow her to find her composure, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll allow it. So spend your fate point. You can add +2 to the roll, and that will count as a success. And you do manage to keep your composure. You know that you have that mutual trust, and you can rely on Teal not to fuck shit up right now, which also means that you have to be able to let Teal rely on you, and just even that sense of duty in itself is enough to also just make sure you keep yourself grounded. Also, Starfox
But yeah,
definitely should make a bad choice.
But yeah, she would have made a comment about the, what was that about the past? But Zane, I leave it up to you if you want to bring that back around. But it would have confused her. She wouldn't really know what to make with that.
Yeah, bad, you said bad habits. But
Yep.
are you okay with that bag?
Yes, I am.
Well, if you want to give it to me at any point, I can always take it off your chest, and I promise I will not hack every door I find.
Well, that's good to know. I'll
I
bear
might
that
not
in
care
mind.
about my reputation, but I do care about yours.
But I wish you would care about your reputation. Because if it weren't for me not doing my job around you, you might have been booted 3 times over. So
I'm
I
working
think
on it.
I think we both need to figure out our shit once we get back.
Deal. Then
Deal.
then let's not get caught. We need to
My
play more
plan
poker.
exactly.
Train that.
All right.
I'm good with
Place
that.
with-
I don't know what you're talking about.
Normally, yes, but not if you carry like these type of weapons with you unintentionally.
You hear the
Let's just-
footsteps of the MPs coming up in the hall again behind you.
I really see the appeal. I mean, two suns, it doesn't add anything what one sun doesn't cover, you know.
What? I mean, just look at it. And the
I
should we
am.
look over and
Yeah.
nod at the MPs and say, I think we should. We'll go back to our quarters now.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
They give you an approving nod. At this point, Boomjockey and Starfox are like way ahead of you, out of earshot, probably turned a corner, out of sight by now. Boomjockey, are you trying to keep up with Starfox, or are you in your own thoughts?
I think mostly my own thoughts, but if Starfox, decides to take a left turn where we're supposed to take a right, to kind of keep an eye out for her. Likely not gonna stop her. Might even decide to, if I have to, join her. But I'm keeping a bit of an eye out on the new kid.
All right. And over in the land of bad decisions, Starfox.
Yeah, listen, so I've thought about it, and everything is getting locked up because everybody's going to sleep. So what I'm gonna do is go back to my quarters nice and calmly, and then just like spend an hour pacing and being like, okay, wait longer, and wait as long as I possibly can before I lose my hecking mind, and then I'm gonna try to sneak around whilst everyone is not around.
So 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, so in which case you would all get back to the quarters, and Starfox, you're just pacing, and eventually, whatever excuse you give, you leave the quarters. What excuse do you give?
I need to go to the bathroom.
You have a bathroom in your quarters.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, you mean what's with that one?
There's a 9mm inside of it.
It's broken.
Someone clogged up the toilet.
Oh! That deserves a round of applause.
Yeah, that's what happened. It's true. Yes. So can I use a different bathroom or what?
I mean, do what you must. I don't want you to pee your pants.
Okay,
It
bye.
shouldn't take too long.
Yep. No problem.
Setting the clock.
Yeah, I'll be back in 15 if I don't get lost. But we've only been here for like... They didn't show us a lot of the hallways, so, I mean, if it takes me like 20 minutes to get back or whatever, I'm just lost, don't like worry about it, okay? Anyway.
I wonder if
You've
I
got
get
5
suspicious.
minutes.
Okay. Bye, Mom.
Would you get suspicious, Boomjockey?
If 10 minutes go by and there's if the 15 minutes go by and she's not back, it's the moment of folding up and going, oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, pretty much
So,
that.
all right, you leave with the world's least convincing attempt at an excuse.
Hey, whatever. They let me leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Haley would like
What are they
look
gonna
at-
do? Stop
at,
you?
at Boomjockey.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
this isn't what I think it is.
I rolled a -1 on my last attempt at seeing through lies. I'm going to carry that forward and say, I'm sure it's perfectly innocent.
Well, 5 minutes.
The session
now
becomes
for
The
the
public
session
toilets
becomes just
are indeed
everybody
much
trying to stop
nicer.
Parker. Well, that's...
Sorry, I missed what you said, Teal.
It just sticks the head out of the corner and says, the public toilets are indeed nicer, I can understand.
Yeah, Haley would just go into her bunk bed and stretch out. 359 seconds.
Mm-hmm. So, Starfox, you go straight to the hangar, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
I
you
sure do. Yep.
The entryway to the hangar is shut. You do see a keypad next to it.
Yeah. See, definitely did not see what code she punched in. But a keypad's a keypad. I figure I can dismantle it rather than trying to guess the code.
You can.
Pretty good with tech.
In that case, if you want to dismantle it, would that be a technology roll? Yeah, that would be a technology roll. So give me a technology roll.
Nice.
You're attempting to dismantle and probe the insides of unknown tech, so I will make this a +2 if you just want to dismantle it, a +3 if you want to do so and, gain control over it.
If I just dismantle it but don't gain control over it, that'll shut off, like, a security alarm if I just, like, pry it open? Yeah, I'll try that. Superb!
Okay, that is success with style, so you succeed at what you're doing and get an added benefit.
Of unlocking the door and sneaking in?
Well, I will make the added benefit that essentially you not only dismantle it, you do in fact manage to do so without tripping the alarm that was going to trip if you hadn't succeeded with style.
Nice!
You have the guts of the keypad, as it were, in front of you, and with your familiarity with tech, even though this is a little odd, a little foreign to you, you do get a grasp of what you would need to do in order to, send the command to open and close the door. The downside is this: you've dismantled it. You need to leave it dismantled in order for you to enter the doorway.
That's fine.
No?
I mean, can I fit the plate, like, over it so that it looks from far away, at least like it's normal, and they won't notice until they get closer that it's loose?
Make a sneak roll.
Duct tape.
Oh shit.
Mm.
No. Mm-mm.
Well, you can succeed at a cost, as always. You can spend a fifth point.
I feel like she, like,
You
gets
would
the
need a
idea,
+2
picks
in
it
this
up,
case.
and tries to do it, and is like, never mind. Maybe better if I just don't make sound.
Fair enough. And with that, you just basically hotwire the door.
Nice.
You enter, and as the door closes behind you, you do know that whoever comes by next is going to see that panel and know something's off. So you're gonna have to either be very quick or very reckless. The hangar is before you. There is nobody in here, and the only thing you hear are your own footsteps on the floor.
I figure if somebody walks into the hangar looking, they will see me if I'm on the ground. But if I'm inside a cockpit or inside the body of one of the ships, probably not. And time is of the essence here, so I'm gonna bolt it across the hangar to where their fancy new prototypes are, and just immediately start looking for a hatch to get inside.
Yeah. They've actually they've moved another one of them in, so there are 2 prototypes here at the moment. So you've got your 4 ships arranged as a quartet, so 2 of yours, and then the 2 prototypes. That fills up all the spaces in this hangar. You bolt towards the prototypes. There's a ladder nearby that will allow you, you can just move the ladder up, run up to the cockpit, or you can just try and, parkour up there as well. That's up to you. But
no, I'll use the ladder.
Would the 5 minutes have passed at this point?
Let's say your countdown is reaching like the 30-second point. I would have made it pass already, but that superb roll is just like, that was, yeah. Okay. But yeah, you can see on the side of the cockpit there's a little button to actually open the hatch. Different in design again, but it's the same principle. Someone needs to get in there and fly this damn thing.
I'm going in, baby.
Alright. You climb on in. It's a weird cockpit in a sense. It's not so much a chair that you're sitting in as it is a recliner. And as soon as you sit into it, it kind of shifts about, adjusts, and you lean back. The actual cockpit window, from your point of view, goes completely opaque and then becomes essentially a video feed of what you would see if you were looking out.
Cool. I'm not going to attempt to turn any systems on aside from the basic computer panel. Right now I'm just looking at specs.
Yeah.
And like at how the cockpit is built.
Okay. Haley, your 30 seconds are running out and your timer is gone and Starfox is still gone.
Yeah, you would hear... You would hear from the bunk underneath Shirin. Phil, did you say it would be nothing?
Oh God, she's gone to the hangar.
Do you want to go?
So nice to not be the one in trouble for once.
Yeah, which is turning it, which is weird. Yeah, I'll go. I am going to sneak my way to that hangar. This is dangerous as fuck, but sure, let's do it.
Yes, it is. Sneaking your way there. Make a sneak roll in that case.
Here's the thing. My sneak is +2.
You will need a +2 in this case to avoid...
I am going to use one of my aspects. My high concept of Contemplative Daredevil. I need to take this risk for a very good cause, which is not getting any of us killed.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll make that a +3 in total.
Yep. Which means you succeed. So you manage to you move through the corridors, you keep your ears and eyes open for a sign of any patrolling MPs. As soon as you notice them approaching, you just kind of duck away or shift directions just a little bit, long enough to avoid their notice, and then keep making your way there.
I go with Pink Panther music in my head.
Mm-hmm. Hang on. I'm going to make a roll. This roll will have a bit of an effect on the outcome.
Oh, God.
Very quickly,
Yeah,
I think the moment that Boomjockey left the cabin, Haley would have gotten up and went to the restroom to actually equip the gun, because it's easier, and the knife as well. Going down the deep end. Because that's easier. It's at some point it becomes a little bit too obvious if she's clutching that bag.
Yeah. Okay. So
You
you
go
have
to
a gun.
unlock the toilet.
And the cutting the cutting tools. I guess they're slim enough that they would fit into one of her cargo pants pockets.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're designed to be easily concealed and easily passed off as
into the bra.
part of-
Maybe that's better.
See, there you go. As you are doing this, and Phil, as you are approaching the hangar,
I see the panel.
you see the panel. You also see the two MPs who have taken up posts in front of that panel, and one of them is clearly on the radio about something. At
Oh, I
which
fucking
point-
double back.
Well, at that
If the
point,
two MPs are already there, and there's no way for me to go through, I'm out of here.
they actually entered the hangar.
Ooh, shite.
You
If they enter the hangar, I will follow. Because I need to I need to get Starfox out of this.
Yeah. They do not appear to have noticed you. Yeah, they enter the hangar. Starfox, you are currently busy going over specs, getting acquainted with this cockpit, which is... it allows for a very great degree of mobility for you. And you can, if you lean forward, the chair leans forward with you, and the entire display that you have actually shifts so that it is always centered on your eyes. As far as the specs go, I can't hear you, by the way. You're muted.
I gotta thank the engineer that designed this cockpit. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Good job.
From the specs, you can also tell that the general construction of this prototype is, in terms of durability, in terms of everything, it's not actually too dissimilar from a regular fighter. So, if it gets shot, it's gonna blow, as you've already seen happen once. However, going by the specs, you can also see that the outer armor, there's a series of layers, including 2 layers of a material that you're not familiar with. But given what you were told previously, you suspect that it's that particular technique of layering that might actually be what prevents the magnetic fields from fucking everything up, because there's got to be something in there that actually prevents that.
Like using light to block
Radiation from-
radiation.
Yeah, essentially, it's sort of in that sense. Like there's something in there that essentially just counteracts the magnetism. You actually notice that those layers are part of the powered systems. So it's not just a passive effect, it is something that
Interesting.
is, in fact, actively
Mhm.
countered.
Cool.
You also note that, much like the regular blackfish, it is armed with. I think it's armed with guns, specifically
That
in
ammo
this
that I saw
case.
them compare earlier.
Yeah, it's the same ammo type. It's just that rather than uh, single barrels, this is essentially twin Vulcans. Going by the going by the information you've got, it will burn through ammo much faster.
Hmm.
But with the right hit, oh, this is gonna hurt. How aware are you of your surroundings? Of what's going on in the hangar?
I want to say that she's trying to be aware, paying attention to what's going on. If somebody's wandering around yet, every 5 minutes, every couple minutes, looks out. But it turns out that what she thinks is a couple minutes is not. It's not.
Yeah, make me a notice
She thinks
roll.
she's paying attention, but she's not.
I was gonna say with a -2 penalty because of your description, but yeah. So you.
All right, that's gonna be a -1.
Yeah, you don't notice the guards entering the hangar. Phil, if you're following them, you see them enter. You see that they now have their sidearms drawn, flashlights switched on, and they are doing a sweep with, splitting up and trying to cover the hangar from both sides.
I have a very firm idea of where Starfox likely is sitting. What I'm gonna do is, since they're doing their sweep, I'm behind them. As they pass, I'm going to move closer to my ship, and if they get close to any of the prototypes, to look very closely, I'm gonna basically cause a scene. I'm actually gonna make noise and draw them to me.
Okay.
And basically, I will just start shouting. If it happens, I will start shouting out like I knew it. I knew they would put their hands on my fucking engine, and use that aspect of uncooperative to help sell that.
Good choice.
Dang.
Okay, let's see. So they definitely start moving towards the prototypes, obviously. Especially... No, hang on, let me see if... I'm gonna make a notice roll for one of them. Okay. This was to see if they would notice the ladder has been positioned differently than it's supposed to be, but that's a notice roll of a -2, so not happening. No, wait, -1, sorry, but still not happening. But they are moving towards the prototypes, so in that case, I will need from you... I'm not going to need a roll for you to cause a scene, because that's easy enough to say that you do. The moment you start making any sort of noise, they instantly swivel around, guns drawn and pointed at you. You're slightly blinded by their flashlights, and one of them steps forward and immediately it just goes, "This is a restricted area."
Yeah, I know. Well, not restricted as you think, but your asshole techs were touching my fucking engine.
This is a restricted...
Told them not to touch the fucking engine.
care.
I don't give a shit
care
what you
they
care.
touched. If you don't calm down, I will have to restrain you.
Bring it on, Buttercup. I'm making.
Okay.
If I'm making noise, I want Starfox to have a chance to get out of Dodge.
Oh God. Yeah. That's gonna be an attack roll against you.
I'm not even gonna resist. I'm just gonna take it.
Well, the thing is, they're firing a taser at you.
Go for it.
So that's gonna be.
I do have armor on that reduces damage by 1. By the way.
Yeah. That is yeah. So that's a +4 result for the shoot roll. So the shot definitely hits, unless you want to defend. No, you said you're gonna just stand there and take it. So yeah.
You know what? I'm
going
to try to sell it. I'm going to see if I can avoid this thing.
Okay.
Just don't know what to roll. Can I be pilot?
No. I will let you make an athletics roll to try and avoid this. So you'll have to beat a 4.
That's not happening.
Okay. Yeah, no. So the guard in this case gets a success with style. So the shot hits you, and hits you well enough that I'm basically just gonna place on you the aspect of shocked.
I would prefer the aspect of dropped like a sack of potatoes.
Also, but basically for the rest of the scene, you have they can invoke that to make a penalty against you for any role that involves you having to use your body, because you are still suffering the after effects of this. And I will need you to
I just drop to my knees when it happens.
Yeah. And I will need you to make. I need you to roll your body to see just how badly this hurts you.
Do I?
Should be there. Well, no, wait, hang on. You tried to dodge, so never mind. So it is 4 shifts of stress that you take.
-1.
Sorry,
Because I do have.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, 3 shifts. So you can just take those 3 shifts of stress if you want, or you can take a consequence.
I take the 3
that.
shifts. Yeah, I take the 3 shifts.
Brave choice. Brave choice. Yeah. You've been hit with a taser before, I wager. Like, even in just like a sort of locker room dare.
Yeah, jackass.
But yeah, essentially. But this is a very pissed off MP. And not only does it hit you and drop you just for good measure, and maybe because you've been a bit uncooperative and annoyed his friends, it holds that trigger just a little bit longer, and it hurts like shit.
Can I use these dire circumstances to create an advantage for Starfox, as they're very distracted with me?
Let's be honest, Starfox hasn't recognized any of this.
No, Starfox would at the very least have heard. At the very least, when Boomjockey starts shouting, Starfox, that would definitely catch your attention. But the MP's attention is definitely just trained purely on Phil. They are not aware of you or anything but you. And you know this. You're muted.
How would they know? Nobody knows. How would they know? How would anyone know? This is a very weird moment for Parker because, like, on the one hand, oh, that's bad. But on the other hand, if I try to help, we will both be caught. And you're here specifically so I don't get caught, I assume.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, like, I'm thinking Parker's just gonna, like, shut off what part of the cockpit is on, like, whatever's powering it up, and then just, like, hide.
Just lean down on the seat.
Okay. So you're just hiding.
Hide in the foot space. Yep. Sorry, Boomjockey.
Alright. Yeah. In the course of the next... Unless?
I mean, I do have the decompression crazy stunt that we used earlier to get me here. So I can do a crazy stunt. So,
Just gonna turn on the
would you give me another fate point if I did that?
I honestly expected Haley and Shirin to end up in the brig by the end of this session, but I think I was wrong.
You thought you would be in the brig, but no, we're gonna be in the brig instead.
Yeah,
Well,
you may be mom group. I'm heading, but I'm having the overprotective dad episode.
boy.
Okay, wait. Okay, how much?
I will give you this compel. Boomjockey is your idol.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker just tased your idol. And is
Okay,
laughing
this is
about
what I wanna
it to
do.
his buddy. So your compel is that you want to come to your idol's defense. If you take it, you get a fate point.
Cool. Yeah, so here's the thing. Which form is this mech currently in? Is it in human form
Fighter.
or in plane form?
It's
Fighting
in fighter
form, you said? Cool. I'm gonna do the thing where, like, the hand just comes down and clamps, like, on top of...
No, fighter form. Sorry, not
Oh,
fighting.
fighter.
Fighter.
Like a ship.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But if you want to transform it...
If I fly it out of here... Wait, no, that's extra... That's crazy. That's crazy.
You can't fly it out
Oh my
if the
God.
hangar doors are shut.
Suicidal. I mean, there's firepower, and that doors can be opened. I should be giving.
no.
Yes, I do want it to
more ideas.
transform.
I should be
Let's
giving
do
more
that.
ideas.
Let's do that.
Alright.
I'm a transform.
I need you to make another technology roll.
You gave me the compel. Why are you doing this?
The compel is to
Great.
do the thing. You still have to roll. Alright. You're lucky because I was gonna set that on +4 because you were trying to change the shape of this thing that you have never once operated, but you've spent the past few minutes going over the specs and trying to figure out the configuration, and you basically just kind of see this, glance over it again, and it's more or less a bit of a manual. Figure, all right, I can make this happen, and hit a sequence of buttons, pull a lever. Boomjockey, you are on the ground, not knocked out, so you're aware.
Not
of
having a good
your
time.
You're having a terrible time, but you're also aware of your surroundings, and you are aware that, oh, that's changing in the background, and within a few seconds, the guards also notice that. And there's
My only thought, I only go from.
Sorry?
My thoughts were going like, I can get her out like this, all the attention's on me, and I look at myself. For fuck's sakes!
Yeah. Within seconds, Starfox, you're still muted.
A reasonable response.
Your view changes perspective completely, and you go from looking up towards the ceiling to suddenly you are up and looking down, and there are the two guards. One of them has dropped the taser and is taking out is taking out a communicator device. What are you doing? Well, actually, hang on. I'm going to give the guards a moment because they get a move. What would they do? I also just realized earlier, by the way, that I should have made Predator roll discipline to keep her composure. That's the one. It has been too long.
That would have been much better.
Yeah. But I'm actually gonna have the guards.
I mean,
roll
if
discipline
Predator and
to see-
Shirin can want to join the party.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, like once Haley would have come out of the restroom, she would have walked around and put the bag away, which now just holds her old clothes and the whiskey, and then eventually would have leaned up against the bunk bed right next to Shirin, just be silent for a moment, a minute, another minute, and then eventually say, "Don't know about you, but something tells me that shit is already going down."
What?
Were you asleep?
Is it morning yet? What's happening?
Not
Also
good
sleep
things,
the
I fear.
fastest.
Oh, I'm ready. Then just Sharon immediately just slides out of the bed, taps the boot, sleeping with boots and the gun in there. Taps it, checks it's still there. All right.
Yeah, all right. I'm not looking forward to finding out what's going on behind this door, but I think we have to. Yeah. And she,
Lead the way.
yeah, goes ahead. Leaves the quarters.
Okay. Time-wise, okay, hang on.
Yeah, it would have been a while,
Yeah,
before they would have left.
I know where I'm gonna bring this in. So, Starfox, you have changed the fighter to mech form.
Mhm.
The guards do in fact keep their composure. They forget about Boomjockey at this point, so I'm gonna say you can get up, but it's a struggle, and you wouldn't be able to do anything other than get up for the moment. The guards are going to... One of them is going to run back towards the door, and the other one is taking out a communicator. And I will give you a chance to intervene here, Starfox.
What I would like to do is either cup my hands over them so they can't move, or sweep them so that they're stuck against the wall. The gun in my hands, obviously, and then just jump out and run for Boomjockey.
Okay. Make a... If you want to sweep them up against the wall without killing them, that's gonna be a...
Pilot.
Yeah, you're in a cockpit. That's gonna be a pilot roll. And you are going to need, if you want to get just one of them, that's a +3. If you want to get both of them, that'll be a +5. Because this is... You're going to have to be very careful if you don't want to, like, leave them as bloody smears on a wall.
Alright, yeah, good point. Can I just cup my hands over them instead? I don't want to kill anybody. That does seem
Same deal.
Okay.
You have never used this machine before. It's going to be difficult for you to make sure that you don't accidentally smush someone.
That makes sense. I'm gonna do my best here. I smushed one of them, but not the other one.
Well...
Or, it's your call.
You can succeed at... You can catch one of them and let the other go, or you can catch one of them and smush the other.
I'm gonna accidentally smush one. I'm just here to ruin Parker's life.
He is not smushed, no. He's pining for the fjord.
I don't think anybody in the squad has understood that there is no such thing as fuck my own life when you're part of a team. And I'm the highest ranking member, so my...
You're right, Parker doesn't understand that. Parker is a giant baby, and she's about to make a lot of mistakes. That's Parker's arc.
Oh boy.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. The one who's running for the door, you just... Well, okay, are you smushing the one with the communicator or the one who's running for the door?
Flip a coin.
I feel like I was paying more attention to the one running. So I got that one gracefully and then accidentally squished communicator person because that person was holding still, so I thought that I didn't have to pay as much attention to them. And that was a mistake.
I get the feeling I'm suddenly covered in guard.
Well, yeah, you... Not covered, but it's a case of you hear the dual of these fists impacting. You see one of them has basically formed a cavern around one of the guards, just as intended. It's just kind of imprisoning that one. And this, by the way, is where... I would say this is the perfect moment for Predator and Teal to round the corner, look into the hangar, and watch as this happens. As the one guard is imprisoned, and the other one, you have curled the fist just a little too quickly, and rather than imprisoning, it just goes poof, and punches down. And in this case, punching down is a bad idea. The guard becomes just a puddle.
Panini pressed.
Pretty much. And...
Get mech'd.
Get mech'd!
Get mech'd, yeah.
Wowza.
See? Oh boy. But yeah, you have just committed an accidental murder. On the upside, he's not alive to tell anyone about it anymore. On the downside, you're not going to be able to just wash that away.
This is mostly downside. Mostly downside.
And we'll pick up next week and find out.
Can I just say
that's where we're stopping!
Can I just say one last thing before we go?
Go for it.
I think Boomjockey just looked at this, wide open, just turned to the cock and goes, "What the fuck?"
And then credits.
And that is where we roll credits for tonight.
I think this is no longer about getting the fleet out, it's just about getting us out alive.
This is...
I will say, we are right next to our ships. We should punch out of here. Fucking go. Leave a note.
Let me grab some lasagna for the way.
Left the lasagna in the fridge.
I was not expecting Parker to be the person to ruin everyone's life, but here we are.
Sorry. I enjoy that that's the thing that's happening. And in the meantime,
I had to go after her. I had to.
yeah. I mean, I
had to help you. I
happened.
had to. I couldn't just hide. I thought about it. But I couldn't do it.
No. Well, in that case, we will be back next week.
With a very interesting episode.
Yeah, we went from having lasagna and
Finally, a
watching
moment for
telenovelas
Teal.
to squishing a guard and glocking a toilet. Oh boy. Let's just go around and well, tell us, as always, who you are, what you're up to on the internet, and what's going on in general. So, Boomjockey, Kevin.
Yeah. I'm Kevin. You can find me everywhere as The Lawful Geek. You can, on my channel, I play perhaps way too many tabletop RPGs, running them all myself. And tomorrow you can find us at 7 p.m. BST, so British Summer Time, or, 7:30 and 2:30
Yes.
p.m. EST, where we'll be running Shadowrun, our campaign Up in Smoke, where you can then see Diane commit some of the kind of bad decisions we have here in another setting. It's set in London 2080. It's a world of high technology magic, and they're all a bunch of mercenaries they're right now doing a heist, infiltrating a lab by a major mega corporation. Sure, everything will go fine. And on Fridays this Friday at 9:30 p.m. BST and 4:30 p.m. EST is the next episode in our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle, Kainan Country, where some political machinations are happening and poor decisions are made, of course. And Sundays is my D&D campaign weekly called Cycle of Stars. It's at 6 p.m. British Summer Time. And you should come because my players fight living candy, living graffitis, and whatever weird shit I can come up with.
Nice.
And that's all for me.
Whatever weird shit you come up with, and Murphy Pop then turns into incredible art.
Of course, yeah. We need to plug.
That gummy player platoon was. Yes, there was a gummy player platoon.
Yeah. First encounter was a gummy bear platoon, a cookie, chocolate chip cookie dough ooze, chocolate zombies, and a Skittles elemental. Yeah, chocolate zombies and a Skittles elemental.
What color was the Skittles elemental?
All of them.
All of them.
All the Skittles mixed in. Just a swarm of little Skittles.
Well, let's go from there to... Well, let's just go to our troublemaker in chief, Void.
Hi everybody,
AKA
I'm Void.
Bad Decisions. Oh boy, that's...
I cause problems everywhere I go. Woohoo! Yeah, what's up? I'm Void. You can find me at VoidCat Gaming. We play video games Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. We do tabletop stuff sometimes, and sometimes crafting stuff on Saturday. And in 15 minutes, less than 4 hours from now, catch me DMing the Modifius version of Star Trek Adventures. They've just made first contact with a colony that's very ill, and they're gonna see if they can try to figure out how to help them. It's gonna be a good time. See you in 4 hours if you're still awake. Nothing will go wrong.
But I encourage everyone else to be.
Yes.
Now,
get some sleep and or be there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep taking this clockwise. So, Petra, Predator.
Hello, I'm Petra. Next week I will be back playing Haley. I don't have any words right now. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right.
In the meantime, if you would like to check out my games, feel free to at petrav.itch.io. I wrote a few games. It's mostly supernatural stuff, supernatural horror. If that sounds interesting at all, go ahead, check it out. That's it. I mean another game, but I'm running another game, but that's not streamed. But I do get to do mean things to Diane there.
Yeah.
That's the important bit, really.
I have a penchant for apparently giving a hard time to players and then being tortured in return. So this is great. This is fun.
It's on brand.
Just a never-ending circle of bad decisions and no lessons learned ever.
Yeah, basically. I mean, the lesson
Sounds
learned
about
is
right.
bad decisions lead to fun games. And speaking
Bad
of bad decisions
decisions!
leading to fun games,
Don't need
Teal,
bad decisions.
same.
Avoid and Max. Hello, I'm Zane. You can find me on Twitch as Sword and Quill. I stream everything because I can't decide what I like most. So video games. Today I wrote a sci-fi novel, so you never know what you get. But on Sunday I'm playing D&D, so 4 p.m. CST. Adventures of the Havoc, as we have an inverted tower run. Our players have to get from the top back to the bottom as they were surprised by cultists. So that's going to be interesting.
Cultists ruin everything. Don't they just?
Or, yeah.
Yeah. And, well, that just leaves me. So, yes, hi, I'm Dan. I'm Balrog1911. Basically everywhere on the internet. Also on Twitch, where apparently I have just kind of fallen into playing a lot of horror games. So, tomorrow you will catch me over on Kevin's channel, making poor decisions in Shadowrun, and probably losing like 3 more drones this upcoming session because that's how it goes with me and my rigor. And then on Friday you will be able to scare the crap out of me when I play Alien Isolation with sound alerts, because I have not learned and it continues to terrify me, and I love that game. Even if the xenomorph is sometimes
Cheating.
surprisingly unaware of me. I recently had it drop down in front of me, fail to notice me, and run the other direction. It was lucky. And then just after that, it followed me into a vent and dragged me out and killed me. So that was also fun. And terrifying. And it's a beautiful game. And yeah, so I stream Fridays and Sundays, although not this Sunday because I am going to need a break because it's been a hellish 3 weeks. So I will do that. And I'm going to also say, if you are awake in about an hour... God, hang on. Yes, in an hour, there will be a one-shot of Defiant on this very channel, run by Ian, who's been our lovely tech this whole time and who gave us that beautiful void barrel roll. So our voice from
Say hello and
heavens.
goodbye, Ian.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for running the tech. And if you want to actually see Ian, well, stick around. And that's all from us for tonight. I'm going to go and sleep. Good night. See you around. See you next week. Thank you everyone for being here. And yeah, don't forget to smush.